Because there's a guy who said that. Said, when a woman comes, I start going. He's like, hi, how are you? So now she doesn't want to try to shake that hand. So you actually do sneeze, huh? Okay, good. Can you do a good sounding? Not now, but can you do a good sounding sneeze? No? Because my fake sneeze sounds really fake. I don't think. But if you could pull off a good one, and you put glue between your hands, so when you go in, it's very convincing, right? Other techniques, yes, sir. Have candy in your pocket and you give it. Okay, all right. So you must walk around with a full bag of all the time. Anytime you see a woman. Good, yes, sir.
This is kind of like a technique that involves it's not true, but it's something that I improvised. But my friend improvised it, and I use a lot of it.
Okay.
So when it comes to shake my hand with the other hand, you say that in Islam or in my culture, I'm not allowed to shake hands, ladies' hands, except their wife. If their husband is beside them, or allows us.
If the husband is besides them?
Yes, beside them.
No, actually, even then, it can't happen. But okay. So what the brother's doing, but Jazakallah though, he's going now the other route, the explaining. So now let's hear specifically some explanations. Some just explanations for now. How would you explain it verbally?
Brother told me at a job interview, he just said, because of Islam's respect for women, I don't shake.
Nice. Because of Islam's respect for women, I don't shake hands with women. Nice. What else? Verbally now. Yes, sir.
I don't believe I have the right to touch.
Oh, there you go. Where'd you get that from? Huh? What's that?
Just the CD I listened to a while back.
Really?
Yeah. His name, you might know him actually, the speaker.
Uh-huh.
The course is called Giving Shahada.
You're joking, right? You're joking, right?
No, I got that from you already.
Okay. All right. Now, all right. Fine. Exactly. Yeah. So this brother is a poet, and he words it so nicely. He says, "I don't have the right to touch." And so people are like, "Wow, oh, I didn't know it was that special." It's very nice. What are the explanations? I said, this brother says, "I don't have the right to touch to women." And they feel that it's very honored and respected. It's kind of nice. He doesn't have to go through the whole list and but we can aunts we can shake hands with, cousins no. But so it's kind of nice and quick and at the same time very, I don't know what the word is, not romantic but flowery. Anyone else? Yes, sir.
I just said, please forgive me.
I like you, man. Please forgive me. Just don't. Just forgive me. All right. Okay, good. What else? And how does that work for you?
She just smiled.
Yes?
Just a question. What about if it's a reverse versus...
I'm waiting for sisters to say something. What do you say? Because you could say the same things, In Islam, we're not allowed to touch or shake hands with the opposite thing, Yeah? Go ahead.
I would respect my religious. I don't shake hands with them.
Okay, and that will work. I think most people will understand that. So it's a religious thing, and you're politely apologizing that you're not going to be shaking my hand. They'll accept that. Yes?
We are wearing the gloves.
Sorry?
Yeah.
No, still. Even if you're wearing gloves. Just. Now, of course, please, and I know one time I asked, we're trying to think of creative alternatives. One time some guy put his hand up and said, well, Sheikh so-and-so gave a fatwa that it's okay. I understand that. There's a fatwa for everything. We're trying to be creative beyond. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just trying to say we're trying to be creative beyond the fatwa. Because like I just said in the beginning, avoiding handshakes, Sheikh so-and-so said there's a fatwa you can shake hands. Okay, next point. But I'm trying to be creative here beyond the fatwa. Yes, sister? Okay, so maybe the sister saw that these are a little apologetic, and even though others amongst us might see it as just an explanation, but you might have something, more of an explanation and, according to you, less of an apology. If you do, then feel free to use that. If you feel that yours is a bit apologetic, you might, kick it up a notch or something like that. Yeah?
I would say, I don't mean to offend you, but in my religion, we're not allowed to shake hands.
Okay, very nice. Yes, sir?
Or just give her a pamphlet, keep her hands busy.
Very good. Yes? Explanations.
I don't think I will have any problem
telling her the same thing that the brother said.
Uh-huh.
Because he was taking a class here in Calgary, and I had a Jewish guy sitting beside me, old beard, practicing Jewish, and the teacher was trying to shake his hand because we were playing a role, and he told him, "I'm very sorry not to offend you, but it's religious purposes. I can't shake your hand."
Excellent.
It's a Jewish person right beside me.
Good.
So I don't think it's any problem.
Jazakallah. Excellent. And then when she came to shake your hand, you said, "I'm his cousin."
She apologized. Actually, she apologized to that.
There you go. Excellent. Very good. Excellent. Jazakallah. Now, very good. Very creative crowd. There's some other people who used, who were saying that you occupy your right hand. Who said that? Yeah, you give her something, and that's another method that we were taught at this company. He said when it was a Muslim company, so they said if a woman extends her hand to shake your hand, you put your business card in her hand. And then you turn her attention to the card. So, and it works so wonderfully. So she extends her hand, you say, "Well, I'm Kamal, that's my name, that's fine." You turn the attention to the card, because if you just give her the card, she might take it and then put her hand. What do? You smack it up. So, and we used to walk around that company, we had cards everywhere. I mean, I had cards here. It'd go like this, a card would pop up suddenly, because, suddenly someone would come in. Then we used to ask them, "Did you notice that I didn't shake your hand?" And they would actually say, "No, I didn't notice. Did not notice." Kind of like what Brother Shiraz was doing earlier with, looking. It's as if you're looking, but you're not. They won't probably not even notice it. And here, same thing. We'd ask, "Did you notice I didn't shake your hand?" They would say, "No." Well, actually, because of religious reasons, and you explain. And because of that, now you've explained and saved yourself from the goodbye handshake. So it works well. So if you do have a pamphlet, fine. Now what if you don't have a pamphlet? You can do this other thing where you occupy your right hand. And you don't make any effort to free up your right hand. And you start the greeting. Because there's a greeting with the handshake and there's one without. So if you come up to someone like this, they might expect that you quickly free up your right hand and shake their hand, right? But what if you come up to them like that, for example? And you say, "Hi, how are you? I'm the one who called you on the phone. My name is so-and-so." And you're doing this, like very clearly, or suppose even your left hand's in your pocket. I'm not making any effort to free up my right hand, And you will actually see them, they will look at your hand, and then they start to free up the right hand, and then they leave it alone, I used to work somewhere, a lot of salespeople would try to come and get our business, and a lot of times saleswomen would come. And you would see them, because they're part of sales, that firm handshake. And I would occupy my right hand, and they would start to put the folder on the other hand. Then they see I'm not making any effort to free my right hand, and they just talk, and they even say goodbye without trying to. So there are ways where you can even stop someone from initially putting their hand out, psychologically. Also now, as the brother was saying, when you have your wife with you, or your husband with you, there's no need to shake the other person's hand, because your wife will save the day if a woman lunges at you, and if a man tries to, you save the day. So, Ahmed said, the man tries to shake your wife's hand, you just grab his hand, and then from there you go in. You just want to stay awake after lunch, that's all. Alright, so that's as far as the handshakes. How about anything else that I forgot with the handshake? Yes?
So sometimes people feel offended, like if they reach out to shake your hand, they feel like they're disrespecting them by not doing it.
And that's why you try to keep your explanation as nice, as sweet as possible. And in the end, what are you going to do? If you're one of those people who want compromise there, what are you going to do? I would rather offend them than offend Allah at some point, Go ahead.
Actually, I think these days people have a lot more cultural sensitivity than we give them
Much
credit for.
more, yes.
And actually, they would be more interested. A lot of times when I say, "Sorry, I can't shake hands," they're like, "Oh, really? Why?" And then they actually ask, especially if they're business people, because they don't want to offend someone else later on.
Right. Very good. Excellent. So, it's very true. go to an Arab country and refuse to shake a woman's hand. Oh, yeah, the things that you'll hear. What, am I a dog? Huh? Am I impure? Huh? What's the matter with you? Kuffar don't say these things to me. You're saying this to me. And one time, true story. Go ahead, sister.
The issue that some Muslims don't think that shaking hands is haram. So when you are telling a non-Muslim that you are not supposed to shake hands because of his issue, and then he goes to another Muslim
And they shake hands.
They shake hands. So what are you talking about? Why you are not united on something?
Well, yeah.
And actually, I found that Muslims get offended by refusing to shake their hand more than non-Muslims.
Yes, that's true. That's true. So basically, what if sometimes you refuse to shake a woman's hand? She says, well, I have a lot of Muslim friends, and they shake my hand. Tell them, well, they're different. I'm actually a kind of Muslim. I'm called fundamentalist Wahhabi Muslim. I'm just kidding, man. So what are you going to do, right? I mean, one time I went to work somewhere, and the lady said, you have to shave your beard. I said, no. She said, well, my boyfriend is Muslim, and he shaves his beard. And he's got a girlfriend, and you're using him as an example, a role model now? So you deal with these things all the time. True story. I won't say the chef's name, though, respectable scholar. And the young girl became Muslim. So she says, I want my mother to meet you tomorrow. He said, fine, just let her know that we don't shake hands in Islam with women. So the next day, the girl brought her mother, and her mother came to the sheikh, and she said, my daughter tells me, you guys don't shake hands. Quickly hugged the sheikh. Sometimes they don't get what it means, you know. One time, so, when you give da'wah, who likes to use the name Allah? Put your hands up. Okay. And who likes to use God more? And who uses both? Excellent. And who gives no da'wah whatsoever? Keep your hands up. Okay. So, look, I love to use Allah, but I also use God. It's not an issue. But there are two things I want to talk about very quickly on this point. One, why some Muslims don't like to use Allah. And two, the benefit of using Allah. Some Muslims don't like to use Allah because they think the non-Muslim might think Allah is some other God. So, oh no, this is going to be happening for a while. Oh, okay. Anyways, some Muslims think that if I say Allah, they might think I'm talking about some other God. So the answer to that, the remedy to that is just a quick 15-second disclaimer. So you just say, so Allah sent His prophets, and by the way, Allah is the same, it just means God in Arabic. It's the same God of the Christians, the same God of the Jews, it just means God in Arabic. And if you go to a church in any Arab country, the Bible says Allah. And they say in church, Allah. Understood? Understood. That's the end of the problem. That's it. And by the way, there are very few people who, if any, who believe this whole moon God thing. So most of the time people understand that Allah is God. It's just the name of God in Arabic. Explain to them like that. And you can feel free to change your inner and go between using Allah and saying God as well. The advantage of saying Allah is that it sets you apart from everybody else. The Jehovah's Witness knocked on their door and said God. This person, the Mormons knocked and they said God. And when you say God, you sound like the other, you need to submit to God. Well, I do submit to God. You need to submit to Allah Azza wa Jalla. It feels like I need to move towards Allah Azza wa Jalla. It will set you apart in your speech from everybody else. I know you don't say Lord, but imagine you said, you need to submit to the Lord. You sound so Christian now. But, anything quickly there on the Allah part? So, there's no rule that says you have to use Allah or you have to use God. Use both, but if you're afraid that you might misunderstand who Allah is, give a quick disclaimer, quick explanation. Yes?
So what if you told him that Allah comes to the root word al-ilah, one God?
Fine. Or you can go even further and from Allah lahu, but just whatever, if brief will suffice, alhamdulillah. If not, you can up it up to a notch. Yes, sir.
You're saying that in Arabic Bible, the word God has been mentioned as Allah?
Yeah. Okay. Clothing, and this is, I'm trying to get something else out of this discussion, point number 3. Suppose I'm going to give street da'wah. Not that I do, but suppose I'm giving street da'wah. Well, I don't know if this works for Canada. This